The line was crossed, rhetoric became a death threat. A sitting US president called for the execution of elected officials, plunging Washington into a new crisis. Democrats are outraged, but the White House says one should hear what the Democrats saying is dangerous. Our next story has the details. Take a look.
It begins with a chilling post. Trump, angered by a viral video where 6 Democratic lawmakers urge the military to disobey illegal orders, lashes out with one word: seditions. Then the escalation. Trump invokes the ultimate penalty: this is seditious behavior, punishable by death. Immediately there was a backlash. Trump's fury came after a group of Democratic Congress members called upon the military and intelligence community to refuse illegal orders. Watch the video where the statement was made.
Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence.
We know you are under enormous...
Critics called it reckless, dangerous. Democrats are lashing out, saying a line: no modern US president has crossed in public view.
Disgusting and dangerous what Donald Trump has said in accusing patriotic members of Congress and the Senate who served this country well of treason and suggesting they should be killed. That's disgusting. We, of course, have come to expect this from Donald Trump.
The last 41 days have exposed the depths of Donald Trump's cruelty. He shut the government down longer than any president in American history, took innocent kids, veterans, federal workers as hostages, political hostages, all because he refuses to do anything to fix the health care crisis, and instead keeps pushing policies that will cut people's coverage even more.
White House asserts that US president does not want to execute members of Congress, but questioned the intentions of the Democrats.
We have 1.3 active duty service members in this country, and if they hear this radical message from sitting members of Congress, that could inspire chaos, and it could incite violence, and it certainly could disrupt the chain of command.
At the heart of the storm was a simple question: how far is too far? Trump's defenders claimed he was responding to Democrats encouraging soldiers to refuse unlawful commands. But opponents saw the post as a dangerous use of presidential power, weaponizing the idea of sedition, a charge tied to national betrayal to intimidate political enemies. America now stands at a crossroads. The rhetoric is harsher, the stakes higher.
All right, moving on, US President Donald Trump has declared that November 27th is an appropriate deadline for Ukraine to accept a new US-backed peace plan. He said that President Volodymyr Zelensky will have to approve this proposal, adding that he will have to like it if any progress is to be made towards ending the war. Now, according to reports, the United States' 28-point draft plan calls on Ukraine to cede territory, accept limits on its military, and renounce ambitions to join NATO. It also contains some provisions that Russia might oppose, such as requiring Russian forces to withdraw from some captured areas.
Like it, and if he doesn't like it, then, they should just keep fighting, I guess. Yeah, we have a way of getting peace, or we think we have a way of getting peace. He's going to have to approve it. Because I have a very good relationship with President Putin, I thought that would have been maybe quicker. But it does take two to tango. And now you just see all the death. And, it doesn't affect us other than the fact that we don't want to see all those people. This is a war that should have never happened, and it wouldn't have happened if I were president. But we're trying to save a lot of lives. They're losing 25,000 lives over the last short period of time. That's Ukrainian and Russian, and it's a shame.
After speaking to US Vice President J.D. Vance on a phone call that lasted for nearly an hour, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in a social media post said that Ukraine will work on a peace plan with US and Europe at the advisor level, adding that he respects Trump's efforts to end the war. However, in a video address, he warned of a tough decision that needs to be made over the plan, one that would either make Ukraine lose its dignity or risk losing a key ally. He added that he will not betray his country.
Right now is one of the most difficult moments in our history. The pressure on Ukraine is one of the hardest. Ukraine may face a very difficult choice, either the loss of dignity or the risk of losing a key partner, either the complex 28 points or an extremely harsh winter, the harshest, with further risks.
Russian President Vladimir Putin said that the US plan could form the basis of a settlement, but added that Kiev is still under illusions. He called for details to be discussed before any agreement.
I believe it can lay the foundation for a final peaceful settlement. Apparently, Ukraine and its European allies are still under illusions and dream of inflicting a strategic defeat on Russia on the battlefield. If Kiev does not want to discuss President Trump's proposals and refuses to do so, then both they and the European warmongers must understand that the events that took place in Kupiansk will inevitably be repeated in other key areas of the front line.
Well, Putin's comments come as Russian troops claim fresh gains. Drone footage from newly claimed Kupiansk in Kharkiv shows explosions and uniformed soldiers holding Russian flags. Ursula von der Leyen announced that EU leaders will convene this Saturday to discuss Ukraine with follow-up talks at the G20 and an EU-Africa Union summit.